Hey everybody, it's MarVeena, and I wanted to welcome you to my Psychic Medium MarVeena page. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about our angels, and particularly the angel of our house. So if you have questions that you would like to ask your own angels, then just post them in the comments on the side, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. If I can't answer them live today, then I will go back as soon as I can and find your question and answer them later today. I will be giving away a free 30-minute angel reading at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time today. So if you stay until 2, you might be picked as my lucky winner. And just remember, hey everybody, thanks for hopping on. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what I do mediumship, and I also talk with the angels and relay messages from your angels, and I do soul clearing work. Today our focus is on the angel of our house. So I had one question that a lady sent in earlier, and which reminds me, if you would like to get on my early bird list to have your questions answered, then be sure and sign up for my Angel Connection program. It's free. It's at the top of this page, and I will send out a short, quick little email a couple of times a week about the different live events that I do here and there, and how you can connect to your own angels as well. So you can send your questions in early, and that way I have time to pray about them, to meditate with the angels, and see what sorts of messages that they might want to give. So I had a lady who sent in a question early this week, and her name is Lisa, and she was she's getting ready to move, and she wanted to know how she can connect to her angels to help make the moving process a lot easier. So this is a good question, and it aligns perfectly with my theme today for our house angels. So Lisa, you're very timely. And one thing that you want to do before you leave the house that you're in is just communicate to the angel of the house that you're grateful for the support that you gained there, whatever of value you feel like that house blessed you with. Was it protection, creativity, health, prosperity, lessons, maybe, whatever it is? Then you want to just acknowledge to the angel of that house that you're grateful. Every house has its own angel, and every building has its own angel. And the angels sort of correspond with whatever is going on in that building. So for instance, a hospital will have, hello everybody, thanks for hopping on. A hospital will have an angel, and maybe a lot of angels, that all have to do with healing. And so that is the major theme of a hospital, is healing on a lot of different levels. So those buildings will attract to them angels that are very savvy in knowing how to help bring balance to the physical, mental, emotional, and maybe even the spiritual levels of the human condition, to help us get back into balance. So as far as our house angels, so you're getting ready to move to a new place, and when you find your new house, you want to go in and just communicate with that angel of that house, and just let them know that you're tickled to have this wonderful house, and just share with them your dreams for your house. And this is just a great place to let your heart talk. I always feel like when you're communicating with the angels, to just share your heart. A lot of times people kind of get tongue-tied. I don't really know what to ask. But in that circumstance, just let your heart share whatever it is that is important to you right now. So for instance, you could let that angel know that you desire this house to be protective for your family, to be a place of opportunity, of creativity, maybe of higher education, a place to support and raise your family. It might be a place to heal from a previous relationship that's gone bad. It might be a place that you go to kind of pull yourself back together and reposition yourself and re-strategize and maybe even recreate yourself all over again. But whatever it is, share with the angel of that house what, did you all see that light? That was cool. We have orbs already today. This is so cool. When you see the little orbs and the little twinkles and flashes that kind of pop around, that's the angels. They're just making their presence known and letting us know that they're happy with what we're doing today and they want to participate. And that is what your angel of your house wants to do, is to participate and help you live your dreams wherever it is that you're living. Usually the angel of the house is going to be most prominent in the very center of the house. So you think about where is the heart of your home and find the center of the house, and normally that's going to be the location of the angel of your house. And so this would be a great place that you could set up some sort of special, maybe a table with some pretty flowers or a really nice green plant or some candles or images of angels or anything that feels right, that feels like a special offering for the angel of your house. So for instance, even like a quartz crystal or a different types of amethyst, anything that feels pretty and just feels right, feels really special for your angels there. So this is a great place also that whenever you get ready to leave for the day, that you walk by the center of the house and just create the intention with your angel that the house be safe while you're gone. And what I always say is, thank you, angels. Today, I intend safety and protection for all of my animals and for my home. Thank you. And that way, it's kind of like giving permission to your angels to keep watch over your home, over your special loved ones there, or your little animals. And whenever you come back in at night, I always acknowledge, you can do this out loud or you can do it to yourself, but I acknowledge to the angels, thank you for protecting my home today and being a blessing to all who live here. This is a really good way to kind of get your angel team on board with some of the desires that you might want to work with in your house. And I feel like it's really good to create a template of your home for whatever is the most important thing that you're wanting to do while you live here. So everybody has a little bit of a different why or what is important to them at different stages in your life. So whenever you can be very clear about creating a template for your house, it helps your angels to get on board and to help you do that. And the way that they help you is they will encourage you by inspiration. You might have dreams about different things that you can make adjustments in your house that can help you to elevate the whatever energy it is. So for instance, if your house is primarily, the template is about creativity, and you feel like right now it may feel like just a blank canvas and very vanilla, and you feel like you need to kind of change up some things, your own angels can help give you some ideas about how to adjust the template in the house so that it's more supportive of creativity. And then as we go through different stages in our life, we may feel like, okay, I have been there, done that with this piece of business, and now I really want to focus on my spiritual path and just creating a stronger connection to creation, to the Holy Spirit, to my angels, to my spirit guides and teachers. Then you just want to create that template, create that intention, and the angels of the house will give you some ideas, and it'll just come out of the blue. Like you may have a dream, or you might feel inspired to go check out a certain website or read some different books, and they give you ideas about how you can change the template from the home, from it being like one that's very expressive, very creative, very dynamic, and to kind of making some adjustments, maybe with colors, with positioning of your furniture, bringing in different crystals or images or plants, even different things that will help you to recreate a different template. So for me, it's challenging in my house because different areas, and everybody has this too, but different areas of the house are for different pieces of business, and just communicate that to your angels as well. So the more clear that you can be about your important pieces of business, the more that your own angel of the house can inspire you and help you to create the perfect template that will be meaningful in all of the different areas of your house. And just like we're changing, evolving, growing, then our house needs to adjust with us. And so our angels can help us to kind of know whenever we need to change up a different area so that it can reflect and be a support to us and to the new desires of whatever it is that we're wanting to create now. We really have to be flexible and be willing to kind of roll with the times so that our angels can best help us to support our energy and whatever vibrations that we need to be supported with. If the house is not vibrationally in harmony with our desires, then it's going to be more difficult for us to get the support that we need to go out and do what we want to do. Now, if you move into a house that has had some sort of tragedy in the house, like somebody died in the house, like an unnatural death especially, or there was maybe a suicide or some sort of traumatic event in the house. And by the way, I always recommend that before you buy a house or rent a house or an apartment, that you investigate what happened to the people before you. Just ask and do some sort of an investigation. And if there was a traumatic situation that happened in your house, then I would just really suggest that you pass it by and go to another one. But if you feel like you just have to move there and the price is too good to pass up, then you really need to take into account, thank you, hey, hey everybody, you have to take into account that you're going to have to overcome that negative energy that has tainted your house. So when you come into that house, then make sure that you communicate with the angel of the house and ask for some ideas of what needs to happen. And if there were, especially if there was a suicide, then you want to take some strong measures and make sure that there's not any entities that are lingering in the house, or ugly spirits, or negative thought forms. And there probably will be, unless whoever cleaned the house, unless they knew how to clean it on the etheric level too, which most people don't know, but that needs to happen so that you can have that you can live there in peace. And there's several good ways that you can know if there's something that's really traumatic has happened in that house. For one thing, your own physical body is an incredible instrument that can discern ugly energy and lower vibrations. And you might feel it, like you might feel goosebumps. You might feel the hairs stand up on the back of your neck in certain rooms of the house. You might feel nauseous. You might feel like you're going to cry or feel very sad all of a sudden. You might get a headache. All of those negative reactions and negative emotions, that's an indicator that the house has been tainted. And to what degree depends on what sorts of measures that you have to take to clear the energy in the house. So that's a whole different subject, but in a real brief explanation is you might be able to do some ceremonies with the angel of the house to boot out the ugly spirits or the negative energies or the negative entities, depending on the level of evil that they are. If they're just like a lower level negative energy, then you could probably do that on your own. But honestly, if they were strong enough to get somebody to actually commit suicide and they're still lingering in your property, then you really need to start working with the archangels and find somebody that knows how to handle that. That's what I do in my soul clearing work and my house clearing work, because the only thing that can move archdemons and dark lords would be an archangel. So you really need to go for the big guns whenever you have ugly stuff that has happened in a house. So the energy can be turned around, and it might be a little bit challenging, but it is doable. If you just feel like the energy feels maybe sad or just a little bit like stale or stagnant, then what you can do with the angel of the house is a very simple house blessing ceremony. What I like to do for the first thing is just clean the house really good, top to bottom, open up the windows if you can, open up the doors. And that is a symbolic way of cleaning the old energy of the house and having all the stale, icky energy or entities or any spirits that lingered with the old family to go out the window. And then what you want to do is to bring in the good spirits, bring in the angelic realm, the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, to be a blessing to your home and to help create a template that's healthy for the living. So a way to do that is to, you can create a little bowl of water and just put like 4 or 5 flowers, like just cut the heads off of some flowers and get like a cereal bowl of water, and then put a tea candle and light the candle in each room of the house. So every room of the house has its own little floral arrangement with a floating tea candle in the center. And then you can walk through the house with some sage. I like to create a little mixture of herbs that are really high vibrational, because this is a way of bringing clarity into the house, and also creating a space that the angels like to be in, like a sacred space, high vibrational. And ugly spirits don't like high vibrational spaces. So it serves as a deterrent too for any lower level entities or icky stuff. And just a result of life, it's like icky stuff comes in, just people going and doing their daily thing, and ugly spirits can kind of come in through the doors, and then they can create chaos in your home. But I just walk through the entire house with this little mixture, and I put mine in a fireproof container that has a lid on it, and just think equal parts. So my favorite mix is sage, cedar, sweetgrass, and lavender. So that is my favorite mix. You can mix up your own, whatever speaks to you, but those are just really high vibrational herbs, and they just clear the energy in the air. It makes it feel crisp so that you feel like you can breathe easier. It just makes the space really nice. And I just walk through the whole house, particularly under furniture, in corners, in cabinets, in bathrooms, in the basement if you have one, and just go through your whole house. And that helps the angel of the house to create a better template that supports the living, that supports a high vibration, and helps you to kind of live your dreams here in this house. Anytime that you feel like you're like beating your head up against a wall, or you're going through hard times, the family's sick a lot, or you're having a particular run of bad luck, then you need to repeat this whole process. Start a dialogue with the angel of the house, and just kind of communicate what's going on with this situation. We're not making any money. The kids are getting sick. I've got headaches all the time. I feel whatever. Just, speak your heart. And then you're going to need to listen for a while, and just think of it as a meditation with your angels. So you can light a candle, burn some incense if you want to, but spend a good 20-30 minutes there meditating with your angel. And if you don't know what else to do, just breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. You can have an angel on a table in front of you, and just do your best to clear your mind and create the intention that your house angel give you some ideas that can help you to adjust the template in your home, so that you can experience more prosperity and abundance, so that you can be healthy, so you can be more creative, or you get along better with your spouse, or whatever it is. Almost always, it's going to require some sort of an adjustment in your house. And but your angels will give you the clues, and you're the one that's going to have to follow up on those clues and take action, because we're the grounding agents. It's like there are some pieces of business that they might be able to do for us, but for the most part, it is it is up to us to take action. And they, for the most part, they give us a little bit of an inspiration or an idea, maybe even a direct message, but we're the ones that have to physically make the changes or do something different in our day-to-day routine, and so that we can have a change, a very good change in the template. So, okay, what else did I want to talk? Oh, so the template in the, like in the hospital, ideally, the hospitals, the angels that work with them, they're going to create a template of healing in the hospital. And that's why a lot of times you'll see where they have created beautiful meditation gardens, and even like prayer rooms or little chapels, different places where we can go and sort of pull our thoughts together and think about whatever is going on. And the idea, when you're in a hospital, either you are a patient or you're visiting someone, just ask the angel of that hospital to give you some heads up on the circumstances that contributed to your illness, and what sorts of things do you need to do in your life so that you can regain balance. And usually the sicker you are, the worse you are, the more you're going to have to do. And it might be doing some clearing on different things that have wounded you in the past, or that have hurt your feelings or hurt you physically, mentally, emotionally, on whatever level. But it's important that you ask the angel of the hospital to help you call back your power, call back your soul pieces, and kind of figure out where you have unfinished business with. Is it someone in the past that has tried to manipulate you, and now you feel like this disease is sort of tied to that event on how they wounded you? But the thing is that we're going to have to sort that out ourselves. And my teacher always called this walking through our personal pieces. And it is important that we step up into self-mastery, and that we take care of our personal business so that we feel complete with it. You know that a piece in the past is not, doesn't have any hold over you anymore. Whenever you can think about a person that hurt you in the past, and you don't have a charge on that name, it's like you feel very neutral. If anybody brought up that person's name, it doesn't make you mad, it doesn't make you angry or scared or any negative emotion. You're just very neutral. So that's when you know that you're pretty complete with that piece of business. So the angel of a school, so when you take your kids to school, just send out a thank you to the angels of the school, that your child be inspired there today, that they have all of their needs met on all levels to help them get a really wonderful education that will set them up to have success in the future for whatever their soul dream is. Create the intention that they be protected, that they feel supported and nourished on all levels, and teach your children to do that as well. If you work in an office building, if everything's going good, then just send out a thank you to the angel of the building. Thank you for supporting our company and helping us to feel creative, helping us to feel energetic, and that we're well nourished on all levels. Like if you work at a police department, the Archangel Michael is going to be the kind of like the overriding governor of that department. And so send out a thank you to the Archangel Michael and his legions of Michael angels to protect the officers, protect the building, help them to be in a place of balance, of really truly discerning truth and helping people to be balanced in their truth. That is one of the things that the Archangel Michael can help us with, is to be authentic, to really get back into the truth of who we are and what's really important. And if we are out of sorts with someone, then the Archangel Michael can help us to do whatever needs to be done so that we can get back into balance. All right, so I had another question come through. So Babs wrote in that she wanted to know if she will be able to get her affairs in order for more prosperity. So this is a good question for your angels to help you kind of sort out the different pieces of business that are blocking your abundance vows. And sometimes that is going to be just habits or mindset in particular, where it might have been ingrained upon you as a young girl that whenever you go out in the world, this is what you can expect in life, to make X amount of money. And if you do that, then you're doing good and you should be satisfied. You really have to do some backtracking. So ask your angels to help you backtrack your family lineage and to just see if you have been imprinted by image makers or teachers or family, friends, books, or different religious teachings. See where you have been influenced that might have limited your abundance vows, and sort of put a cap on it, so that you might sabotage yourself from being able to kind of bust through that. I know one thing that I was taught as a kid is the idea that it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. So this is an example of a limitation, a belief system that was ingrained into people by people that they respected and that they loved and that they trusted. So that is a belief system that I had to break out of. And you may have some that are very similar. I do some of this work in my soul clearing. I always check abundance diversion vows to see if they're closed. And if they're closed, then through the prayer request, then we open them up. But you want to work with your angels and ask them what is limiting you. It's likely a combination of some belief systems, but some mindset habits. And so you're going to have to do some soul searching on that level and just see where your mindset might be stagnant in an area, and what sorts of processes do you need to do to replace that poverty mindset with a higher vibrational prosperity mindset. So the trick is, and it is a trick, it's kind of like going onto your computer and finding a file that is no longer it's no longer supportive of whatever you're wanting to do, erasing that file and then downloading a new file of a higher vibration, but on the same subject. So it's a little bit of a mindset job, but ask your angels to help you shift your mindset so that you can get some different ways of thinking, of running your thought patterns, of your inner dialogue especially. And if you ask your angels to trigger you whenever you're having a negative mindset, or when your speech, your habits of speech are going against your desires. They will give you a little nudge, and it'll just come out of the blue. You'll be having like a negative thought or words, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I remember. That's counterproductive to my goals of creating prosperity. And so what I do is I just say, angels, cancel, clear, delete, fill with love. And then you can just do your best to bring in 3 thoughts of something on a higher vibration that you do want. So for instance, if you say, oh my gosh, I have to do my taxes, and I know I'm going to have to pay a lot of taxes this year. So cancel, clear, delete, fill with love. Angels, thank you for all of the opportunities to create prosperity. I'm grateful for a healthy body and a wonderful spouse. So you have, it's like you've turned the tide of your vibrations, and your angels can help you do that. Hey, everybody. Thank you. They can help you do that, but we're the ones that have to take the action on it again. All right, so another question. Cindy wanted to know if there was any chance of a residential change for her coming up. So one of the things that you want to think about is your desire. And your angels are telling me that you have a strong desire to make a change, but they're telling me that you're afraid a little bit of the actual move, and if the new place is going to be better than what you have now, and you're worried that you might make a bad choice. But they just want you to know to trust your intuition, and that to have some clear ideas about what you want to experience in your new house, and what are the important things. And then as you send out these streams to your angels, then it helps them to kind of guide you to different areas that you can find an apartment or a house that carries that vibration. So be sure and be very mindful of your thoughts and how you're running your thoughts regarding this change of residence, because you can counter create pretty easily. And the way you do that is by, for instance, I like this house, but if I move, I'm afraid I'm going to wind up like that apartment that I had the last time, that was noisy, that was drafty, that had too many stairs to climb up. So you're being very counterproductive in how you're flowing your thoughts regarding this subject. So your angels will kind of give you the little heads up, and when you get that, you just want to like stop it. Just say, stop it, Cindy, this is not what I want. Well, what is it that I do want? And then just kind of flow some thoughts towards your ideal of what you're wanting to experience and how you want to feel when you get moved into your new place and you're just living your life. Some really wonderful books that speak to this subject are the books of Abraham by Esther Hicks. She was one of my teachers back in the early days in Dallas, and I love her to pieces. She and her husband, Jerry, have been doing some mindset programs and material and books and tapes for a long time. So anyhow, I love them. All right, so one of the questions that came up from Lee Butler, she wanted to know if, from her angels, if the tragedy on her family, if it was an accident. So what I got about that is that it was an accident, but it was kind of one of those angelic, agreed upon intervention kind of accident. In other words, there were karmic pieces of business with different members of the family and different parties involved with the accident, where there were some things that, like, I want to say like a death doorway opportunity, where if that soul felt complete with their journey here, that here would be an opportunity to go through a death doorway and leave the physical body, and then they would still be in their, they would have their astral body to experience life on the astral realms. And sometimes they will choose that death doorway if they have felt complete with whatever pieces of business their soul came in here to participate in. And also they might choose it in this way if there were some little pieces of karma that might needed to have been worked out between different members of the family, that it's like they could kind of kill two birds with one stone and take care of some karma, or help other people to engage with some karmic pieces, or to really learn some hard spiritual lessons about love and unconditional love, especially. So it was an accident, is what I feel like the angels are relaying, but it was kind of like an opportunity there for them to take care of some karmic business too. So I hope that helps you. I know it's very difficult for us to appreciate whenever special souls choose to go on, but I feel like the angels really want you to know that this is one stage of life and in the physical. And when we make that transition into the spirit, it's like we're walking out of one stage and we're walking into another stage where we can express ourselves in our astral body. And from here, we call it a loss of life, but it is not a loss of life. It's just a different way of experiencing life. Now we're focused in the physical body, and we experience everything in that's very dimensional, very dense energy, and through all of our senses, particularly our 5 physical senses. But when we're in our astral body, we experience life through our higher senses, but it is still very vibrant. It's still very meaningful. It's still fulfilling. The soul truly does live beyond the death of the physical body. So when you can just hold that in your heart, it helps you to get a little bit more peace about how things unfolded, and to just trust that you'll see those special family members again. A big thing that you really want to get on your mind is to do your best not to hold ugly or negative energy to any of the parties involved, to do your forgiveness work if that's necessary, and to learn whatever lessons are those parties brought into this dimension. When we get the lesson, we don't have to repeat the lesson, and it just, and sometimes an accident will bring huge life lessons to more than just the parties involved in the actual accident. And we want to make that gain. It just helps that their transition in that traumatic style, that it helps it to be more worth their while if we can really get what they brought into this world, and let it soak in and let us appreciate that. All right, another question that came in was from Tiffany Frazier. She wanted to know, was her grandmother the angel that kept her from being run over by a train? So for the most part, our loved ones are not a true angel. They are a soul on the other side. And a lot of times we just like to think of them as our angel, that they're, since they're no longer living, now they're watching over our life. And that is not true, because they still have a complete soul journey. They're still a viable soul. Just because they're not focused in the physical doesn't mean that their soul journey is over and now they just have to like experience life through their grandkids. So they do come and visit you a lot, Tiffany. Your grandmother likes to check in on you and just see what you've got going on, but she's not an angel in the true sense of the word. You can think of her as your angel, but she doesn't stay there all the time, because her higher guidance team, they still have opportunities and life lessons on the astral planes, and she has things to do in the astral world. I feel like in this case, it was your own angels that saved you. In particular, it is a guide that's called an Asher angel. So we all have different angels that kind of are a part of our team from life until we cross over out of the physical. But our Asher guide is the one that was able to help you to not get hurt in that circumstance. So that is who you have to think. Your Asher angel does not dialogue with you. They're the only angel in your team, and they love you very much, and they're very set on protecting you so that your soul has the opportunity to do what it came here to do. It is quite a challenge for us to get all of our ducks in a row so that we can come into a physical body and have this physical opportunity. It's quite a dance of things coming together, being able to create liaisons with people that will agree to be our mother, be our father, our sisters and brothers, important family members, and provide kind of support, but also challenges at different times, and opportunities to work through our karma. It's hard to get a body set up to go out and really make the best use of our time here. So our Asher is very diligent about doing the best they can to make sure that you survive everything until there is a proper death doorway for you. And that might look like an accident, or it might look like a tragedy, but it could also be a karmic circumstance. So, but our Asher is our protective angel. We all have different angels that come with us into this dimension. Our birth there are hundreds of angels that overside or overview our birth to protect the mother, to protect the soul, the incoming soul coming in to help us be able to get positioned so that we can get birthed into that physical body and have the opportunity to do what we came here to do. We also have angels that are that come in with us. We have a chief angel, we have a karma angel, we have a timing angel, we have a creative angel. We have an astral angel. So there's a whole team of them that help us navigate our soul journey. So whenever you feel out of sorts, just ask your angel team to sit with you and to help you kind of pull yourself back together and figure out like what is the best way for us to move forward, or for you to move forward, to do whatever it is that you need to do, and call back your power, call back your soul pieces, and reposition yourself so that that you feel you have some clarity about how to move forward. All right, so I have time for another question here. So, so Shane, I feel like your mother and your father are particularly wanting you to know that they're around. And I also feel like your uncle is there. And your mother wanted you to know that she very much wanted to be your mother, that you were a very wanted and loved baby. Your dad begged her to have you, to and went against the doctor. The doctor thought that that your mom was not healthy enough to have a baby, and so but both of your parents very much wanted you, like more than anything, and they're very, very proud of you. They hope that you know that, because they know that a lot of circumstances got in the way of how they raised you, and they didn't get to raise you the way they wanted to because of some health problems. But I see a like a lion, and it puts me in mind of like Leo the lion. And I don't know why they're showing that symbol to me, but I see that. So it seems like it might, I don't know if it's a August influence, but anyhow, know that they are here for you today, and they love you very, very much. And they're aware of your family, and they just want you to let go of your sadness, and to ask your angels to help you let go of your anger and your disappointment, that that if you want the things that you want, you have to let go of your anger. Almost all the time when we want something in life, there's a price to pay, and there's something that we have to give up in order to create something new, or to get into a different state of mind. And so in this circumstance, that's what they're saying, is that you have to let go of your disappointment and your anger in life to help you be able to move forward in a good way. But they are very proud of you, and you will see them both again. And I just feel like your dad is laughing. He's showing me his picture with the cowboy hat and the curly hair, and talking about an old truck, and that we had a lot of fun, but we had a lot of hard times too. But he said, don't be your own worst enemy. All right. Now, I don't know if Tom is connected to your family too, but think about that, if there's a Tom or a Thomas. So I just heard a name like that. All right, so got time for another question. Carol wanted advice about what she can do this year to live her best life. So Carol, one of the things that you can do is just regularly sit with your angels. Find a place in your house that feels supportive to you and feels spiritual, or feels angelic, or that you feel like you can let your guard down, and that you can share your heart with your angels of the house, and just kind of powwow with them. Have a little talk about your hopes, your dreams, the things that you would love to experience, that you would love to be a part of the creative process, and then give them plenty of time to dialogue with you, and to kind of impress upon you about how you can go from where you are to where you want to be. So fine tuning, because I know there's a lot of things that are wonderful about what you're living, that are just magnificent and fun and perfect. What you're wanting to do is, and this is a part of stepping up into our power as creators and as determiners, and you could even say as magicians, is that we have to kind of understand that art of the fine tuning of our vibration. And so when you find yourself, you're vibrating to XYZ right now, and you're living this template of all the pieces of, the busy work life, and then you need to learn how to adjust and fine tune the frequency, so that you start to adjust your template. And it's just like whenever you're driving down the road, you have a really good radio station, and then it starts to get a little bit fuzzy. Then you take the dial, and you don't just crank it like really hard. You just kind of wiggle it a little bit, and just you make an adjustment. And so in your case, it might need to be a vibrational adjustment. It might need to be combined with a mindset attitude. You could call it an attitude adjustment. I got enough of those as a kid. The parents' way of giving us an attitude adjustment is to give you a spanking or a whack. But we want to take it to a higher level and just realize that the sum of my thoughts and my energy are flowing in this direction, and it has created this reality with these relationships and these opportunities. Some of this I love. Then you have to hold in high vibrational thoughts the things you love, and then make some little tweaks on how you're running your energy, the patterns of thought, how your self-talk is going, so that you start to flow your energy a little bit differently, not wildly differently, because there's a lot of things you love about what you've got going on. Learning that we are creators in training, I think, is what your angels really want you to own, that idea that I am a powerful creator in training. I'm using this planet as my my schoolhouse, because it has all of these incredible ingredients that I can pull together and mix up and create different things. And I like some of it, so I keep it. Some pieces, you tear it up and you start all over again. But think of yourself as a creator and a determiner, and just keep dialoguing with your angels how you can make little adjustments in your mindset that can help you to keep moving forward in a good way. But I know you said to live my best life, and I really feel like your angels are so proud of you, that you're an amazing creator, an amazing determiner. You're a little powerhouse, and it's just it's always going to be tweaking taking what is, what works, and figuring out the little pieces that aren't working so good, and how you can run your energy and create something a little bit different in that regard. Okay. All right, let me see what else here. All right, so, so Patra's blowing me a kiss. Thank you. So that is our winner for today's 30-minute angel reading is Patra Meadows. So Patra, give me send me an email and we'll set up a time to talk. And be sure and sign up for my easing. You can just go up to the top of the page, and it's called Angel Connections, and it gives you my updates of when I do my Facebook Live. I aim to do them on Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on what's going on here at the ranch. But I will send you a little email to let you know when I'm going live. And you can email me your questions ahead of time, and that way you sort of get queued up a little bit earlier to get your questions answered. And each week I do a different talk about the various angels and the members of the angelic realm, and how you can create a closer relationship to the angels, to your angels, and to the universal angels. So I really enjoyed being able to visit with you today, and just trust, for those of you that are wanting to hear from your loved ones in spirit and your angels, I feel like it's really important that you honor your own instincts, and to me, it's important that we all step up into our power and be willing to think for ourselves. And for those that want to hear from your loved ones, just find a quiet place and ask your angels to communicate to that special loved one that you would like to hear from them. And then just kind of hold a space for them to come and honor what you get. Don't wait for MarVeena to say your mom is here or your angels are here. You honor your own gut instincts, your own insight, and your angels will help you to feel safe and to make that connection. That is not going against God. It is a perfectly natural part of our soul's function to be able to connect. They don't, we're not supposed to know too much or see too much, because it would make it more difficult for us to stay focused in the physical if we were really immersed in what's going on the other side, because we came here to experience this and we want to do our due diligence and make good use of our time here. And so they can't like spill the beans. So, all right, well, I hope to hear from y'all soon, and it's been great seeing everybody. Bye. I hope y'all have a great day. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.